been going down the drain.
I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
What's the buzz? Tell me what's happening. What's the buzz? Tell me what's happening.
Why should you want to know? Don't you mind about the future?
And now, live, unedited, unrehearsed, and unapologetic, brought to you by Imperial Fire Alarm and Security, securing your world. Straight off the ledge, it's JD and Smitty!
Welcome to Ledge Radio Show with JD and Smitty on 96K Rock. Phone lines are open, 239-277-9600 or 775-9600. We are streaming live video on the LedgeRadioshow.com. Check us out on Facebook.com /The Ledge Radio Show. Let me first say thanks to our AV department, Tripod Billy behind the glass, with producer Shannon Livingston, and a big thanks to our in-studio producer, Sick Rick. Smitty, what's up?
Oh my goodness, a lot of stuff happening this week. So much I'm going to have to just get right on to it here. But first, I'd like to thank our sponsors: D Square Construction, Kevin Dwyer, he's been great. Matt Caldwell, State House, Ray Rodriguez, the State House, and that primary is August 14th. So get your vote out. Imperial Fire Alarm and Security, securing your world. And before we get to any of the hot topics, we have a special in-house intern hostess, Sarah.flv. Say hi, Sarah.
Hello, everyone. How are you?
Thanks for being here, Sarah.
And, of course, our phone lines is 239-277-9600 or 775-9600. Once we get started, feel free to give us a call. And, of course, our main sponsor, which has been great, Imperial Fire Alarm and Security, securing your world.
Very nice, Smitty. Now, before we get to our guest this morning, I know you want to talk about the Olympics. It's a passion of yours.
I love it.
You've been talking it up for months.
Love it.
Just couldn't wait till it got here.
Love it.
And finally it's here.
I don't care if they're pitching pennies. I want to see who wins.
Well,
you know what I mean?
You even got me to start watching it. I mean,
I know you
just
hated
with the
it.
swimming. Well, it wasn't I hated it, but I haven't watched it since
because you're so open-minded.
Since the girls won the gymnastics back in '96.
Right.
I like that for obvious reasons.
Yeah. Well,
but since then I haven't really paid too much attention.
Well, of course, the big story is Phelps. Michael Phelps. I'm a huge Phelps supporter. He's actually grew up in my father's hometown, which was Towson, Maryland, which is a little development there called Rogers Forge, is where he's from, and he's going for the Olympic record, and he's going to be.
What's he got to win to get the record?
He's going to win three. I think
is it 3 to tie and 4 to take the record?
I think it's 3 or 4. I don't have it right in front of me, but he may do it. But his big competition is Ryan Lochte, which is your Gators.
Yeah, man, go Gators!
And they've been strong competitors for years.
Those guys are so fast together.
They've been racing each other since they.
Well, here's how it'll go for me. When Phelps is racing by himself, not against Lochte, I'll go for Phelps. But if it's those two together, I'm going for Lochte. And I may even wait to go to Lochte till after Phelps wins the record and gets the 4 or whatever.
Right.
Then I'll go for Lochte so he can get a few too.
His arm span is like 6'8".
Really?
Yeah.
How tall is he?
I don't know, but that is incredible. And the guy's going to be.
He's like a butterfly machine.
The Chinese already won their first gold medal. Can you believe that? Already.
In what?
They're already ahead of us. We don't even get started yet.
In what sport?
It says right here. It says that the Chinese got their first gold medal of the Olympics with a victory of 23-year-old Sling Yi, the women's 10-meter. Are you ready?
Can you spell that?
Air rifle shooting competition.
BB guns?
BB guns, man.
They won with BB guns.
We had a chance with BB guns.
I'm a hell with a daisy.
Maybe we ought to do
Red Ryder.
a wrist rocket slingshot competition, man.
Well, speaking of that, there was something I was looking at the other day. Did you know that there's a bunch of lost Olympic sports that they don't have anymore?
Please tell us.
Some good ones, like the tug of war. Mm-hmm. They used to have the tug of war back in the 1900s. Like 1900 to 1920, they did tug of war. I could see that. We got some pretty big, hefty guys over here now.
I was thinking females.
We could throw some of them on there, too. What about this? Now, this one's funny. This one's funny. And tell me how this is even possible. Solo synchronized swimming.
Wow.
What is solo synchronized swimming?
Solo synchronized swimming. I guess you have like a shadow you got to go with or something.
Well, apparently they used to have a solo synchronized swimming. I don't even know what. I think maybe you had to match what someone did before you. Kind of like playing a horse or pig with basketball. You got to take the exact same shot.
Nice.
Maybe it's something like that. Okay. They also had hot air ballooning.
Oh, see, I dig that hot air ballooning.
And then pigeon shooting, but with live pigeons.
Matter of fact, did you just, not that jump, we're going to jump back to the Olympics.
That's the only 4 I had.
No, but did you see the thing about the hot air balloon guy that went up like 96,000 feet and skydived? He was at the peak of...
No, it wasn't 96,000. You told me it was like 16,000.
It was huge.
96?
Yeah, I'll have to get
That's
it up.
like that's like halfway to the moon.
I'll have to pull it up here, but it's pretty interesting.
That was a great story. I'm sure. I'm glad
No,
you
it
looked that
was.
one up.
It was good.
Did a lot of research to get that one.
It's hand off cuff here.
Right off of Wikipedia. Well, Iran is in the Olympics this year.
Please tell.
They decided to come back. I don't know if, and you mentioned something about Saudi
Saudi
Arabia.
Arabia has its first ever female athletes on the Olympic squad.
Well, how are they going to do swimming with those burqas on?
I don't know. They're going to have to put some.
They're going to be just like anchors.
It's right. They have to blow up balloons. Water wings. Put them on there.
They got to send them through a TSA screener before they go into the pool, or what?
I don't know, man. Michael Phelps he's the man to root for. 14-time gold medalist. So,
nice.
And the first race is today with those two guys.
Well, back to the Iran and Saudi Arabia. I know that you did a little ditty, a little song.
Oh, you talking about the Ramadan? Absolutely. We have we wanted to reach out to our fellow brothers, the Muslim Brotherhood out there that loves us so much. And
which guy was that?
I don't know, whoever he is out there. And
one guy.
You've heard of Easter songs, and you've heard of Hanukkah songs, Christmas songs. There's a lot of songs out there but there was no real Ramadan song. So we felt it incumbent to reach out to our fellow Muslims.
No, not we, Smitty. It's Smitty only, and his home address is.
And offer them in good faith, in brotherhood, a little song for them. It goes like this. Ramadan, Ramadan, oh Ramadan, Ramadan. Ba-boom, boom, boom. I call my baby Abla. I tell you why. Her kiss is much drier than her desert pie. And when she does her shaking, I got no chance. I put my hands deep into my pants. Oh no, Ramadan, Ramadan, oh Ramadan, Ramadan, Ramadan. Boom, 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 boom. She got no education, and that's just fine. 'Cause if she got too smart, then she wouldn't be mine. I really like the burqa. It's more than I can stand. And when we take a shower, I can see she's a man. Ramadan, Ramadan, oh Ramadan, 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 Ramadan. Boom, boom, boom. We have an understanding that I'm the king, and if she don't like it, then her arm's in a sling. I take her to my barber and I save some cash. It's 2-for-1 pricing when they trim her mustache. Ramadan, Ramadan, oh Ramadan, Ramadan, Ramadan.
Very nice, man. That actually deserves a clap right there, man.
That's for my fellow brothers out there.
I'm sure they'll
Shalaka
appreciate
lakum, likalakam.
Very nice. Well, I know you got to have some. Oh, you know what? Let's touch on the your girl there, the first girl to get kicked out of the Olympics.
Yeah, it's a tri jumper, whatever that was.
Triple jump.
Yeah, triple jump. That's the strangest sport I've ever seen. You run and they hop on one foot and they glide a while. Then they hop another one. Then they glide a while. Then they hop the other one.
By the third jump, though, man, it looks like they're about to break their hip. That's a nasty jump.
It is a nasty jump.
But what they said, she made a racial comment on Twitter.
They made some kind of racial.
And I've got the quote from Twitter, and I don't know what her context was, so I'll just read it, and then we'll try to figure out what does she mean by it.
Don't worry, if you mess up, I won't crack on you.
Thank you, buddy. She said it's a short one. She said so many Africans in Greece. At least West Nile mosquitoes will eat homemade food.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm reading it, and I'm trying to figure out maybe she meant there was some punctuation missing there.
I don't know what she meant, but I can tell you that she got kicked out of the Olympic Village.
Kicked out, and it was her first chance to go to the Olympics.
Yeah, man, she did herself in good. I guess that goes to tell you just shut your mouth sometimes.
I guess so. Well, I'll tell you what, take us into something else you got, or some little story. I'm going to run over and grab our special guest this morning. I'll be right back in like 3 seconds.
Well, just to reiterate on the skydiver, it was 96,640 feet. He's an Austrian skydiver, Felix Baumgartner. He successfully completes his final test from 96,640 feet. He was reaching speeds up to 536 miles an hour. 536. The jump offers insights for his upcoming world record. He's going to try another one.
That wasn't a world record?
No. And this one's he's going to try from the edge of space, 120,000 feet. That's something like 18 or 20 miles.
He's got to wear oxygen or something for that, right?
Yeah, he wears a whole suit and everything.
Okay.
And maybe wears burqa. I don't know. But he jumps and he flies down and he's moving, man.
Nice.
He's moving.
All right. Well, let's get past your just riveting tale there.
I know.
The Ledge Radio Show would like to welcome Collier County Sheriff Kevin Rambosk to the K-Rock studio. Kevin, thanks for being here.
Morning, everybody.
We appreciate it, man.
Hey, just to let you all know, I had nothing to do with the Ramadan song. Okay,
We absolutely know that.
Okay.
That's why I didn't even want you near. I didn't even want you near the studio.
Is that for the record or off the record?
That's for the record.
We'll talk after the show.
Okay.
Now, Kevin, you're up for re-election this term.
Yeah, absolutely.
And and people don't realize how large Collier County is. I mean, it's a massive county. How far east does it span? Because most folks don't realize it goes so far.
Well, Collier County's 2,025 square miles, the unincorporated area, and then you add in the city, so it's actually a little bit more than that. Largest land area county east of the Mississippi, larger than the state of Rhode Island or Delaware.
I didn't realize it was bigger than like Jacksonville and those.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Absolutely.
And your deputies have to respond to calls way out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, 50, 60 miles out. The Everglades are out there, so there's not a lot of population, but we're out there all the time looking for people that get lost, have emergencies, that kind of thing. So a lot of land area, square miles, as compared to most other places.
Do you guys have to actually go into the Everglades, like with airboats and stuff?
Oh, absolutely. We have a whole ag unit that has all kinds of swamp buggies.
Yeah, I've seen them out there with their fishing rods. The guys just hanging out, just fishing away. I say, you got something to do?
No, that's the firefighters from Isla Capri.
I'm pretty sure that wasn't our guys. But
that might have been Fish and Wildlife. I don't know. No, do you guys have to work with Fish and Wildlife a lot out there?
Oh, yeah.
Being in the Everglades especially?
We have a great relationship with them, with the Federal Park Service, and everybody works together, and that's how we keep everybody safe out there.
Okay. Well, we appreciate that.
Are you born and raised in Florida?
No, I'm from Jersey.
In Jersey?
You can't tell that.
My kind of guy over there. You know what I'm talking about?
Is that close to where you're from?
Maryland, Jersey, D.C. It's all the same.
I don't own a globe, so I wasn't sure.
But I've been here for 34 years, so, Neapolitan status is about 25, so, I've passed that, and, my wife got me down here, and of course she was right. And
always, always,
absolutely.
At least officially.
Officially, yeah.
Well, you've got an extensive background, and I want to get to that. But first, I want to bring up the story from Cape Coral because it involves it was an off-duty. Was it a corrections officer? That you know more about it than we do.
Yeah, off-duty corrections supervisor Sergeant Shiner did an absolutely terrific job. Ran into a situation, took care of it, absolutely saved lives and protected the rest of the street.
Absolutely.
The guy that got shot was a 30-year-old Nicholas Rainey. He was selling frozen lobster tails and steaks door to door. And that's when the 52-year-old Kenneth Roop was pulling up in his driveway and pulled a gun and shot the gentleman in the back, from what I'm being told. And the guy fell. Then he got out and shot him again in the head.
So that's what is that what the media is saying?
That's what the story is so far. That's what it is so far.
Yeah, that's as far as we know right now. And like all law enforcement officers throughout Southwest Florida, any given time of day, whether on duty, off duty, you run into something you need to take care of. And she did just what any and all other law enforcement officers will do, and that is the right thing.
What's her name again?
Shiner, Sergeant Shiner, Kristen Shiner.
Good job to her.
absolutely.
And I was telling you, before we got on the show, I hope that there's something special for her for what she did to step in because my.
What do you mean? Something special? What do you mean something special? What do you want to give her?
An award
TV
of some
dinner?
sort.
Come on, man.
Well, because
she gets paid for doing it.
No, very rarely is someone in the right place at the right time to stop any more trouble, and then on top of it to arrest the assailant or the alleged assailant. My fear was for the partner of this guy as well. After this gentleman was shot,
I would have ran.
I don't know what happened to the other guy.
I would have said, "Boy, that was a good call. You went up. See you later."
That's always the problem because you don't know who else is involved.
That's
so
right.
You need to always believe that there could be somebody else there. Maybe there isn't. Maybe there is. And she has two attentions. One, the bad guy. Number two, first aid.
Yeah.
Trying to do what is possible at the time because you don't know. That intervention in the first 2-3 minutes of an emergency, that makes the difference between life and death.
That's right.
Maybe you can give her the steak and lobsters that were in the truck or something.
Well, do you know are you allowed to mention whether or not she attempted first aid or if it's too late by that time?
Yeah, I don't know. I talked to Chief Murphy quite a bit up there. We certainly don't want to get into the investigative part of this, but obviously, any law enforcement officer is going to try and check first aid. That is the very first thing you do.
And all your folks are trained for that.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and then secure the scene.
Yeah.
So it's
Did she call for backup? She made the right calls to get the right folks there.
She did. She couldn't have done more.
Excellent.
Really, other than be there before the shooting event occurred.
Yeah,
you know,
and to see the future.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's not going to happen.
No, she did an absolutely terrific job. I talked with her last night for a while, and we absolutely are going to do something. Chief Murphy and I are going to do something nice to recognize her.
How far did she live from the actual shooting? Because she said she heard the shot. So did she live within like 4 blocks, a block, two
I don't know what the proximity to that was, but
she was just in the right place at the right time.
Apparently she was through the
right place
area.
at the wrong time.
Well, right place at the right time for the other gentleman that was there.
Sure.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Well, you know, if when all's said and done, I mean, the bottom line is someone's dead, and it doesn't appear by any indication that he's done anything wrong to deserve that.
No.
Just doing his job.
If you're
making a sales call.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you're a door-to-door salesperson selling, you know, whether it's alarms like they knock on your door, or lawn cutting, or meat or whatever, man, you got to wonder now. You know, start knocking on people's doors with the way society is now. That maybe I just knock on there and it might not be a good thing. You know?
Well, you know, you look at that. You look at Aurora. You look at all these other places. Unfortunately, we're having a lot more violent acts throughout the United States, and you know, we got to be careful. But Southwest Florida, you know, has a terrific law enforcement complement. Everybody works together, no matter whether we're right next to one another or not. And
I assume you. Excuse me. I assume you support the gun law.
Oh yeah. Oh, support the Constitution. Absolutely. Positively.
How about the in-between question? Is do people need clips for 100? You know.
No. You know, what do you need a clip for 100? You know, extra bullets for? You know, that's crazy. And you know, fortunately, it sounds as if that's what posed a problem, because it jammed, because it wasn't meant for that gun. You know, had that occurred, it could have been much more severe there.
Oh, really? So he only got off so many shots because his magazine jammed.
That's my understanding.
Wow.
It's been made in China.
Oh, well, probably a good chance it was. 277-9600 or 775-9600 if you want to call in and got any questions for Collier County Sheriff Kevin Rambosk.
Now's your chance, man. He's here now.
I'm sure he won't be able to wipe away any tickets, but you know he'll do his best if you're a good voter.
We'll tell you how to get to the Collier County Courthouse and on what day. And you know,
jail still in the same place.
Jail still in the same place.
Number still the same. 911.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
What was that number?
911. 911. It's 911. You know, that's another big issue. And I noticed in some of your platforms coming up for this next term, you know, you're looking at adding some new programs, some awareness programs for the community. Expand on some of that, because I've got some questions for it, but I'd like to hear what they're about first.
Well, you know, I go back 4 years. We set forth a program of involving the community, reducing crime, reducing operating costs. We've done all those things. First of all, we're not going to lose any of those things, and we're going to build on them. So it's not like you're coming in to start new and create new. You move forward from there. We've been able to reduce the operating budget by $20 million, saving the taxpayers $48 million. Collier County is has the lowest crime rate, metropolitan crime rate in the entire state of Florida.
Is that per capita? How do they establish that number?
That is per capita. Our crime rate is 2,155 crimes per 100,000, which probably doesn't make any sense to anybody.
I know what you mean.
But if I tell you that out of 67 counties, there are only 12 counties that have a lesser crime rate than we have in Collier County, all of a sudden that starts to draw a picture for you. None of those counties are south of I-4. In fact, most are in the Panhandle.
Probably little small counties.
Populations of 30,000 to 90,000.
Like a Nice or something, like a little town like that or something.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's take a quick call before we lose these callers. Caller, you're on the Ledge Radio Show with JD and Smitty. What you got?
Yeah, I'm just calling in about the gentleman was just talking about the gun law.
Yes.
And yeah, I just want to throw something out there. They were talking about the 100-round clips, and if you're a gun collector, you might have them.
That's true.
You know, how are you gonna stop that? And once you allow the government to regulate one item, they begin to regulate everything. That's the push on the gun law.
It is a slippery slope.
They want to do. It is a very slippery slope, and unfortunately, you know, it's going to be available to anybody. And if you're a gun collector, you're an avid sportsman, you like to go to the gun range, those things are things that you're going to have. And once you allow the government to regulate, come into your home, register your firearms, then it's just
Where does it
downhill
stop?
from
Where
there.
does it stop at that point?
Yeah,
Well, caller, we
and-
appreciate it, caller.
Yeah, and
Thank you.
actually, I couldn't agree more with him. What I'm saying is, does it make sense for the average person to be walking around the streets with that kind of stuff?
Right.
But
we
I
all
just
know
don't see the utility of it.
And I know the logistics of it. Obviously that does pose an issue for a lot of folks. But the thing is with gun laws, and I know we got a lot of callers waiting, but with gun laws,
Hang in there.
it seems like the only folks that pay attention and listen to gun laws are the legal, law-abiding citizen. The criminals already don't obey the law. They already kill people, whether it's with a gun or with a knife or with a car or whatever. So when we eliminate
Bad taco.
what have you,
Kill you.
when you
Kill you,
eliminate
man.
things for the legal citizen, then it leaves us disarmed.
Very clearly, we have a right to bear arms. We have a right to defend ourselves.
I agree. I agree with that.
And we're going to do that, and we're going to follow the Constitution. There's no question about it.
I appreciate that.
It's unfortunate that some people lose their mind,
And you can't stop all that.
Abuse that. No,
It's been going on since day one.
We will never be able
Yep.
to abuse it. You go look in Europe, in Britain. They've had pretty strict gun laws, and they still have people blowing things up and killing people. So
Yeah, they use bombs over there instead of guns.
Well, yeah. So no, I fully agree and support.
Well, we
the
appreciate
right to
that.
bear arms.
We got another caller on the line. All right, caller, you're on the Ledge Radio Show with JD and Smitty. What you got?
Hey, it's Mike Garafola. How you guys doing?
Mike Garafola, what's up, buddy? What you got for us, man?
Hey, I got a question for you. As far as the people that are legal and got concealed carry, the state was considering an open carry for law-abiding citizens. Sheriff, what do you think about that?
Hey, thanks, Mike.
The problem with open carry, and we used to have that issue years ago with black powder weapons. When somebody walked through the mall, law enforcement would get hundreds of calls with regard to people carrying a gun in there.
I bet they would.
I see, again, I see it more as a safety issue more than anything else. Not that you shouldn't be able to carry it, but what you do with it and the effects on other people. And I think it poses more of a dilemma. Can you imagine yourself sitting in a restaurant with people carrying guns? You have a problem. Law enforcement's called. Law enforcement
They don't know
walks
who
in
the bad guy is.
and you don't know who the bad guy is and who the good guy
I
is.
would say this. Probably by the time law enforcement gets there, the criminal is subdued because you got everybody with a gun on them, I would hope.
Well, of course, that's the positive part of it.
Right? Well, now, what do you say when it comes to states like Vermont that have, they've got open, I think it's Vermont or it's not New Hampshire, I think Vermont's got open carry, and they've got one of the lowest crime rates in the country. I don't know if it's attributed to that, the population, the culture there, but they've had some pretty good success with that.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, if you're out in Montana, Utah, and you
got wild game.
You're all over the place. Alaska, I watch a lot of that up there. You need that for protection from the elements, pretty much.
Yeah,
so,
you got to protect yourself from Sarah Palin.
Man, Smitty.
Another place I'm
It's
not
a
going.
mean grizzly bear. That's a mean grizzly bear. I'm telling you now.
Let's take a break. When we get back, we'll pick
We
up
got
the other
pick up this
callers.
callers coming. Hang in there.
Yeah,
man.
hang in there,
Hang
caller.
caller.
277-9600. We'll be right back.
Zito and Gary. The big gap man, Shaun White, two-time Olympic gold medalist, snowboarding. I'm sure general manager never heard of him or hates him or something, but it seems like everybody that we get excited about. Hey, we get this person. I go, who the hell is that?
Don't like him?
Who the hell is that?
Get him off my radio station.
Yep, stop playing that crap. So do more like Stan and Haney. Play some. Talk about Connie Francis, will you?
Throw some Eddie Rabbit on it. Sing along.
Zito and Gary on 96 K-Rock.
Securing your family, your business, your property. That's what's important in your world. No matter how big, no matter how small, secure your world with Imperial Fire Alarm and Security today.
Imperial Fire Alarm and Security is a local company with hometown service, the way it should be. One call to Imperial will align you with the most effective fire alarm security and surveillance systems, as well as state-of-the-art wireless monitoring. If you're a property manager or condo association member, ask about Imperial's wireless monitoring systems to replace costly and unreliable phone lines and save your community thousands. From individual homes to large communities, Imperial Fire Alarm and Security can secure your world.
Don't you think it's time to secure your world? Imperial Fire Alarm and Security services Lee, Charlotte, and Collier counties. Learn more at imperialfiresecurity.com or to schedule your free consultation, call 239-288-6482. Secure your world at imperialfiresecurity.com.
License number EF2000046.
When it comes to finding a reliable general contractor, you need to pick someone with a solid background and a good reputation. D Squared Construction gives you all that and more. They are family owned and operated and stand behind every project. Quality workmanship and satisfaction to the customer has made them one of the premier contractors in Southwest Florida since 2004. Small residential renovations to large commercial projects, they do it all, and they do it all well. Your projects are much too important to trust just anyone. D Squared Construction will come to your house or commercial project and give you a free on-site estimate. Call Cav & Dwyer at 239-561-4108. That's 239-561-4108 for a free consultation and some good sound advice. They won't waste your time or your money. D Squared Construction, when it needs to get done right.
Hello, this is Matt Caldwell, and I'm running for Florida State House, District 79, covering Lehigh Acres, Buckingham, Alva, and North Fort Myers. I'm running for this office because I'm concerned about the future my daughter will inherit if we don't address our problems today. I was proud to serve Lee County these past 2 years and successfully passed legislation like the Andrew Widman Act and a resolution for congressional term limits. I'm also proud to have voted for a balanced budget every year. I'm running to be your representative, and it would be an honor to serve this community. I hope you take the time to vote August 14th. By the way, it's an open primary, so all voters can participate, Republican, Democratic, and Independent. This message is paid for and approved by Matt Caldwell for State House. Also, thanks for listening to The Ledge Show with JD and Smitty on 96 K Rock.
Ray Rodriguez's roots are planted firmly in Lee County. Ray has raised his family right here in Estero, and he's worked tirelessly for Republican candidates and principals for nearly 20 years, currently as vice chairman of the Lee Republican Party. A budget manager at Florida Gulf Coast University, Ray Rodriguez combines budgeting expertise and a conservative economic philosophy, a perfect combination to lead the charge in Tallahassee for less spending and lower taxes. Ray Rodriguez, conservative.
Political ad paid by Ray Rodriguez, Republican for State Representative, District
What's the
76.
buzz? Tell me what's happening. What's the buzz? Tell me what's happening.
Why should you want to know? Don't you mind about the future?
You're on the Ledge Radio Show with JD and Smitty. Call now at 239-277-9600 or 775-9600. Check out our live stream at theledgeradioshow.com and visit us on Facebook at facebook.com/The Ledge Radio Show. Back with us in the studio is Collier County Sheriff Kevin Rambosk. We appreciate you being back with us, Kevin. Sick Rick, we still got a caller on the line? All right, let's take this caller real quick. Caller, you're on the Ledge Radio Show with JD and Smitty. What you got?
Hey, buddy. How's it going?
Good, man.
Hey, I got a question for the sheriff. I work for the fire department down there in Collier County, and I live up in Fort Myers. The crime rate seems to be so out of control up here in Cape Coral, Lehigh, Fort Myers, everything. What's the biggest difference between the two counties? I mean, the people seem the same to me.
There's probably a couple of different things. Demographics does make some part of things. I can only tell you what we really do. We have a very proactive approach to crime. We bring our contact down into the neighborhoods and to the businesses. One of the strong points of my administration has been to engage the community through town hall meetings, through community meetings, starting community safety teams, which is a next step up from a neighborhood watch, although we don't carry guns.
Okay.
I'll put that out there. But it is that immediate contact. We look at identifying career criminals. We have a proactive gang unit who identifies all our gang members. And I think when you engage the public to let us know when they see something wrong, we get in, we identify those people that need to be taken care of and dealt with, like the career criminals and the gang members. It's just a constant push to make sure that we prevent crime.
That's what we need. We need to prevent it.
Is your budget larger than Lee's?
No. We're I came in with a budget 3 years ago of $152 million. I submitted my latest budget at $131 million, and I believe they're closer to 138, 140, something like that.
That sounds about right. That sounds about right.
Because they got more criminals. That's right.
277-9600.
There are a few more up here.
775-9600.
Like Scott would argue that.
Smitty, let's take a call. Let's take this other call.
Absolutely.
Caller, you're on the Ledge Radio Show with JD and Smitty. What you got?
Yeah, I'd like to ask a question for Sheriff Rambosk.
Absolutely. What you got, buddy?
I'm sorry, what do I got? Meaning, what's my question?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'd like to ask, actually, if possible, I'd like to ask two questions, a follow-up. But my first question would be the budget in Collier County for the Sheriff's Department versus other counties, and are we as lean as we should be?
Absolutely, we are. You know, again, 3 years ago, I had a budget of $152 million, and we have worked very, very hard looking at establishing a budget. I think a lot of that comes down to what are the needs, what are the desires, what are the demands from the community that you serve. We talk a lot to our community. They set forth what they expect out of us. They want to maintain one of the lowest crime rates in the county. You know, we utilize our tax money very judiciously and are very fiscally responsible to make sure we provide a variety of service. But I can tell you, we do a lot more things than a lot of other counties do. You know, we have a very strong youth relations program. In fact, you know, we have 43 schools in Collier County. We have deputies in every single one of them.
And certain counties are pulling their deputies out to save money, right?
They absolutely are. We've got all kinds of specialty functions. We were just talking a minute ago about what do we do out in the rural areas. We have a full ag unit. You know, we're dealing with everything from getaway horses to cattle rustling, and you know, the one thing that I think makes a big difference for particularly Collier County, you know, we are an international destination for prime ministers, for presidents, for
former presidents,
right? Fortune 500 CEO companies. When they come into Collier County, they're expecting that if there is ever a problem, that when they call 911, they're going to get a full response. That requires.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize I was actually talking to you, Sheriff. I thought I was talking to some board operator.
Man, we don't mess around here, man. Who do you think you're calling? You're calling the Ledge Radio Show, man. We don't mess around.
Didn't you dial 911?
What's wrong with you?
Oh, boy.
They don't know who you're calling? Come on, man.
Let me refine my question.
Okay.
I appreciate you. I appreciate this show. Let me refine my question. I've got two questions, and I don't want to throw you softballs. I don't want to throw you softballs, Sheriff. I think you're running for a big office again. I think you deserve some hard balls. So if you don't mind, I want to throw you two hard balls.
Make it quick, man. We only got an hour show.
Right. I understand. The first one is talking about this deputy that was down at the Coastland Center Mall under your command, who was having oral sex with some of these teenage boys. You were alerted by the Lee County Sheriff's Department that there was an incident with this Deputy Charles Bullock, I think his name was. Prior to that, a suspicious incident with children in Lee County. And my understanding is you didn't do anything. And then this guy ends up committing a pedophilia crime with children in the Coastland Center Mall. How do you sort that out?
No, I think you got that backwards. I think we found out that we were not notified by the Lee County Sheriff's Office, and we had found that out later, so we would not have been in a position to do anything proactively there. But certainly, you know, once the city of Naples got involved in that, they took a very proactive position, and we assisted where we could, but they made a very strong case.
Mm. What's the second part of your question, caller?
Second question really has to do with my first one, and that is, you know, I saw this Wink News story regarding the budget in Collier County, and I was kind of stunned by it. You have 36 or 38 people, top brass at your agency, making over $100,000 a year, but Lee County, just north of us, with twice the population, has only 6 commanders making over $100,000 a year. And I'm just wondering, Sheriff, in this kind of economy we've got, where we're all eating Alpo out of the can over here, how can you justify guys making 36 of them making over $100,000 a year when Mike Scott's doing it with just 6 guys making $100,000?
Hey, thanks, caller. We're going to answer that right now. We appreciate it, buddy.
Well, the first thing, again, that's misinformation that's being put out there by my opponent. We called Lee County Sheriff's Office, and that's anything anybody has to do is just give them a call.
You mean during a campaign or election year that you're going to have misinformation?
Yeah, unfortunately, there is.
I know one program you have down there that is just stellar. That great traffic camera system that you guys got in Collier County.
Well,
boy, that is a real gimme.
Yeah,
I can speak for a lot of people to tell you that is sweet, man.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a second. Let me get back to the
Go right
other.
ahead. Finish up.
We called Lee County Sheriff's Office. They have more than 32 people making that kind of money. The information that is being found out there on the internet is not correct. It does not reflect what is being done out there. So very clearly. A lot of things go into the amount of money people are making, and some of it has to do with man-made or natural disasters. We have fires, you have hurricanes, you go on the clock, 12-hour shifts every single day for weeks at a time. That's mostly FEMA reimbursable. But anyway, that information is absolutely not correct about the number of people making $100,000.
Let's talk about those cameras, man. I love to talk about that.
Before we go to break, and we'll take a break in about 5 to 7 minutes, Let's get on it, man. Red light cameras. You love them, don't you, Smith?
I'm telling you. I mean, of all the things to do, I understood they put it in for free. And the one guy sits behind a little podium and looks through the videos and decides who gets a ticket. And you guys make a lot of money off of it.
I don't know if they make it. I think the guy that
money off. Somebody's making money off of that.
Somebody's
making money. That sounds like a dirty deal, man.
Hey, there are 178 signalized intersections in Collier County. There are about 19 traffic enforcement cameras out there. The system really just pays for itself.
Don't you think enough's enough, though? I mean, really, you got to put that many cameras to get somebody just going through a camera.
I would absolutely agree with you if we could get people to stop for red lights.
That's true. Well, if that's the case, can we put a deputy there?
The problem is you're taking $100,000 plus to put a deputy to enforce.
With loaded labor rate, vehicle,
we
insurance.
absolutely do that.
Sure.
But I will tell you that red light running was the primary violation that I got complaints with 4 years ago. I don't get any more.
Really?
Not one.
Okay, they've done.
Do you get complaints now for tickets from red light running?
I absolutely do.
Okay.
You send them in the mail, right? The tickets?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And everything's on
Open up your
video.
mail.
So
Merry Christmas.
Hello.
People will.
Don't you
call
get like
us.
4 warnings a month or something?
Yeah,
you know,
just get a break.
that's what you
Tell
need
us
to
when
do.
you're in the
Get
warning
like
phase.
4 warnings a month or something. That way you go, all right, I got it. You know?
We're looking at those people that blow that light at 30, 40 miles an hour. That if they wind up in an intersection, are going to kill you or your family.
That is very
true. You mean it has nothing to do with revenue? I'm stunned.
Absolutely not. That $65 pays for the lease for the cameras.
Here's it. Before we get to this caller, I mean, one thing I've noticed though is that what I find myself doing more often than not, especially when I'm going from Lee County to Collier, and I don't get down to Collier as much as I used to, but when I do, I find myself as I'm approaching intersections that I think I remember seeing cameras at, and I'm always cautious. I try not to ever run a red light. But, man, as soon as I see that yellow, I'm jamming on the brake, like hoping not to slide through the intersection because I'm so afraid of even just tripping that little sensor because I don't know how sensitive they are because I don't want to ticket, and that's – to me, I hope that's not causing people to run in the back of each other.
No. First of all, accidents are down. That was one of the complaints, that accidents would go up. They're not. They're down. Actually, they're down 20% in Collier County over the last 5 years. But, we do have people that review the tape, that review the video. And if there's anything that prompted them to have to go through it,
you can see
an
that.
emergency vehicle, somebody slamming on their brakes. If they go through, that's what the deputy's there for, and they say, absolutely not. We're not citing this.
He probably knows it won't stand up in court.
Good thing we didn't have that when I was a kid, boy. We'd be out there with paintballs and BB guns and everything else. Man, I'm not drinking my ideas.
Don't give the kids any ideas.
I'm just saying, when I was a kid, that was like prime target.
You were a bad kid.
I would have been like, oh yeah, put another one up.
Before we go to break, let's take one quick call. Caller, you're on the Ledge Radio Show with JD and Smitty.
Yeah, good morning, gentlemen. How you doing?
Good. Who's this?
Yeah, this is Roadhog coming to you.
Good old buddy Roadhog. What's up, man?
Called in a couple months
ago. I just been listening to you guys for a while, and I just want to let you know that you guys are the second not funny. You're funny, but you're not funny.
We're funny, but not funny.
You're good.
Well, we appreciate that, man.
Have another shooter, man.
Not funny queer. You know what I'm saying?
Funny, haha.
Yeah.
What's
all right, guys?
You gonna be eating any barbecue today?
Oh, every morning.
Extra sauce. Sauce it up, buddy. All right, take care, man. All right, let's
take a break.
Let's go to break. 277-9600 when we get back with Collier County Sheriff Kevin Rambosk.
You never know what we're going to say or do. Take 96 K-Rock wherever you go with the iRadio Now app.
iRadio Now.
Available for free on all smartphones, including Android. The biggest personalities in radio entertainment. Available on one app.
iRadio Now.
The iRadio Now app for all smartphones.
Just go to the App Store and search iRadio Now.
And download it for free.
Brought to you by Jason and Todd at the Diamond District, Coconut Point.
Visit 96krock.com for more information.
iRadio Now.
96 K-Rock.
Securing your family, your business, your property. That's what's important in your world. No matter how big, no matter how small. Secure your world with Imperial Fire Alarm and Security today.
Imperial Fire Alarm and Security is a local company with hometown service, the way it should be. One call to Imperial will align you with the most effective fire alarm security and surveillance systems, as well as state-of-the-art wireless monitoring. If you're a property manager or condo association member, ask about Imperial's wireless monitoring systems to replace costly and unreliable phone lines and save your community thousands. From individual homes to large communities, Imperial Fire Alarm and Security can secure your world.
Don't you think it's time to secure your world? Imperial Fire Alarm and Security services Lee, Charlotte, and Collier counties. Learn more at imperialfiresecurity.com or to schedule your free consultation, call 239-288-6482. Secure your world at imperialfiresecurity.com.
License number EF2000046.
When it comes to finding a reliable general contractor, you need to pick someone with a solid background and a good reputation. D-Squared Construction gives you all that and more. They are family owned and operated and stand behind every project. Quality workmanship and satisfaction to the customer has made them one of the premier contractors in Southwest Florida since 2004. Small residential renovations to large commercial projects, they do it all. And they do it all well. Your projects are much too important to trust just anyone. D-Squared Construction will come to your house or commercial project and give you a free on-site estimate. Call Cavan Dwyer at 239-561-4108. That's 239-561-4108 for a free consultation and some good sound advice. They won't waste your time or your money. D-Squared Construction, when it needs to get done right.
Hello, this is Matt Caldwell, and I'm running for Florida State House, District 79, covering Lehigh Acres, Buckingham, Alva, and North Fort Myers. I'm running for this office because I'm concerned about the future my daughter will inherit if we don't address our problems today. I was proud to serve Lee County these past 2 years and successfully passed legislation like the Andrew Widman Act and a resolution for congressional term limits. I'm also proud to have voted for a balanced budget every year. I'm running to be your representative, and it would be an honor to serve this community. I hope you take the time to vote August 14th. By the way, it's an open primary, so all voters can participate, Republican, Democratic, and Independent. This message is paid for and approved by Matt Caldwell for State House. Also, thanks for listening to The Ledge Show with JD and Smitty on 96 K Rock.
Ray Rodriguez's roots are planted firmly in Lee County. Ray has raised his family right here in Estero, and he's worked tirelessly for Republican candidates and principals for nearly 20 years, currently as vice chairman of the Lee Republican Party. A budget manager at Florida Gulf Coast University, Ray Rodriguez combines budgeting expertise and a conservative economic philosophy, a perfect combination to lead the charge in Tallahassee for less spending and lower taxes. Ray Rodriguez, conservative.
Political ad made by Ray Rodriguez, Republican for State Representative, District
What's
76.
the buzz? Tell me what's happening. What's the buzz? Tell me what's happening.
Why should you want to know? Don't you mind about the future?
You're on the Ledge Radio Show with JD and Smitty. Call now at 239-277-9600 or 775-9600. Check out our live stream at theledgeradioshow.com, or you can visit us on Facebook at facebook.com/The Ledge Radio Show. And if you do, give us a like. We need a bunch of them. Back in studio with us is Collier County Sheriff Kevin Rambosk, and it looks like the phone lines are already lighting up.
Just a quick question.
All right, man.
Every, whether it's firefighters or police, they all have a degree of, I call it deadwood. How much deadwood do you think you have there?
You mean like dead weight, or like the show Deadwood?
Dead weight, deadwood. People that you not to pick on people, but to say, looking at my system, I got 2%, 5%.
You mean people that you could afford to get rid of?
Yeah, or just want to get rid of.
Well, as you said, any organization has people that are highly motivated, those that do their job, and those that try and get away with whatever they can get away with.
Mm-hmm.
We have a pretty strong professional standards bureau that looks at any deliberate activity. But, you got to rely on your supervisors, particularly your line supervisors, to get out there and make sure people are doing what they're supposed to be doing, when they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. And, the last couple of years, it's been tough motivating people. We've had the worst economy we've had in the last 70 years. We've really had no raises since I've been in office. And, as you guys all are, people are getting a little tired of just, having economic problems. We'd like to see something move forward in a more positive way. And,
when's the last time they got a raise?
2008.
2008?
2008.
That was sounds really similar to when Mike Scott was in here from Lee County. Had the same basic issues. I mean, you can't get blood from a turnip. I mean, you can't keep giving raises if the economy won't afford it.
No, absolutely not.
And I'm sure they're upset, but they're glad to have a job.
Well, they are glad to have a job. The commitment from law enforcement, both in our agency and throughout, you don't get into that job unless you want to do it.
Right.
Because there are just too many things that are not positive. You make a commitment to do the right thing.
That's something that the people, that little kids, they want to do it from a child a lot of times. That's like a dream of somebody to become a sheriff or a police officer.
Yeah, and that's great, but it's about serving the community.
Sure.
And that's why we have a strong service philosophy today.
Well, let's take another caller. We got at least one or two on the line. Caller, you're on the Ledge Radio Show with JD and Smitty. You got any questions for us?
Yeah, you guys were talking about gun control earlier and like the Second Amendment law.
Yes, sir.
I myself believe in the right to bear arms, not just for hunting, but because it's the last form of defense.
We appreciate that.
And but this term "bear arms" doesn't really specify what is and isn't acceptable.
That's
and
true.
I know manufacturers like Lockheed Martin, they hold a weapon convention every year in an Arab country called Jordan for governments and armies to buy weapons to kill each other. So at the end of the day, we can say it's for sport and hunting. But I don't see hunters taking, carbine gas-powered automatic rifles to kill deer.
Well, if they did, they could get a couple at a time, though.
Yeah, what an idea!
Yeah, 2 or 3 at a time with that.
What an idea, man! We could feed the hungry.
If we could bait them, put them on some cord, we could take down the whole family of them all at one time. Well,
that sounds peaceful.
But, it is.
Do you think there should be a limit on what citizens are allowed to own? I know in some states you can own grenades. You can own
what state is that? I'm moving
rifles.
there. Hey, thanks, caller. We'll let the sheriff answer you.
So I had a question. You're gonna answer it?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I asked you a question.
You asked it to the sheriff or to me?
That people should be allowed to possess hand grenades? No, I don't think so.
Thanks, buddy.
Not just hand grenades. Do you think there should be a limit to what citizens can own?
Is there a limit?
Okay, we can answer that.
Limit. Well, yeah, we'll answer that for you. That's a legislative decision. However, I fully support the Constitution, the right to bear arms. Let's do it in a sensible way in looking at what we do.
That sounds like a good answer to me. Before we take the next call, I've actually got a text that came through from one of the one of our fans. It says, is the sheriff working with Lee County and surrounding counties to help, and how and which counties you're working with?
Yeah, absolutely. We have a great relationship with all the counties in Southwest Florida. Sheriff Scott and I, we and our staffs meet periodically throughout the year. We actually meet also with all the Southwest Florida sheriffs or South Florida sheriffs. Al Lamberti over in Broward County.
Boy, I bet that's a hoot.
Well, when we get together, we talk about what issues we're facing.
You guys all have common issues. I mean,
oh yeah, absolutely. The one important thing that we did in the last couple of years was we established a fusion center, and that's where we share information through a central point. That point is housed up here in the FBI office in Lee County. And that helps us to share. The biggest thing, though, that we do is our district that abuts Lee County's patrol district. They meet on a regular weekly, monthly basis. They share information about what's going on back and forth between the jurisdictional bounds.
Like Miller's Ale House, we go there.
Well, yeah, same thing.
I think I've seen you guys at the donut store down there.
Yeah, well, we're trying to get out of donuts, but
they've got them without icing.
That's
now.
right.
They're healthy.
Donut holes today. We're trying to
you
get
could use donut holes.
Yeah,
there's a hole in everything down there.
Well, I know we've got another call, and we'll take that caller, and then I want to get on something that's a big topic in the country as well as Collier County, immigration.
Okay.
Caller, you're on the Ledge Radio Show with JD and Smitty. Are you there?
I am.
Okay. What do you have for us?
So I had one of those red light tickets.
Yes, ma'am.
And I was just reading that Orlando has this big case about constitutionality of them. Aren't we going to have to refund all that money? I mean, just really. They're ridiculous.
Kevin and I were talking about this off the air, and he's got some information on that, so we appreciate the call.
Yeah, absolutely. There's some challenge out there now. Nobody knows where exactly it's going to go. In Collier County, the county commission has actually taken all the money from the tickets from that period of time that this challenge is for. They have set it aside. It's all there. If it has to be returned, my understanding is that they will return it, but there's going to be no impact to the taxpayer for that. So we're just going to have to wait and see what the challenge comes out to be.
I believe the law states that you can address your accuser. And how do you address the camera or some guy?
I mean, they must have a workaround for that.
There's a full policy there where you can actually go before a magistrate. You can present your case again after it's been reviewed by a law enforcement officer. It has to be reviewed by a law enforcement officer. My understanding is the question's more about before the state statute allowing red light cameras to be placed in Florida came in. There were a couple of counties that established them, which they believe to be lawful and still believe to be lawful. Again, if there's a challenge, I know in Collier County they've got a plan to address that.
Okay. Like I said before we took that last call, immigration is a major issue right now, and we've got the provisions of the DREAM Act that the president signed into law by executive order. What does that do for your guys? I mean, because we get a lot of immigrants down here, whether they're coming from one country or the other. What is it? Does it tie your hands? Does it do anything to you guys where you can't enforce you can't do your job any better, or does it bind you?
No, because Collier County, we are one of 76 law enforcement agencies in the entire nation that have authority under 287G. That's a federal law that trains and enables our deputies to do background investigation information through federal databases when people have been arrested and put in jail. What that allows us to do is if people are committing crimes and we're making an arrest, we bring them into our jail. 3-4 years ago, we found that 25 to 35% of the people housed in our jail and who had committed crimes and been arrested for them self-admitted to being here illegally.
Wow.
That was costing us as taxpayers just in Collier County $9 million a year.
Just to house them in the jail.
Just to house them in the jail. So we got into this program, which cost us nothing to get into the program. All the training was put in place. And remembering, there's like 18,000 law enforcement agencies in the country. So we were on the cutting edge of getting into this program. We identify when individuals are arrested here in Collier County, and more often than not, we find that they have been previously arrested and had committed between 5 and 11 other crimes, both felonies and misdemeanors, by the time we find them.
But you can't send them away. What can you do with them, though? Yeah, you can't send them back, can you?
Oh, absolutely we can. Now we're not immigration agents, but we have authority to do a background.
Do you turn them over to ICE then?
Yes, we place a detainer.
Okay.
That's that investigative report. We send that to ICE. They review it, and I will answer that question.
And then they release them?
In some cases they do, but listen, in the last 4 years, we have placed over 3,800 detainers. That is removing people out of our authority in most cases, putting them over into federal authority. Out of that 3,800 detainers that we placed, and we don't let the murderers go or anything like that.
Well, that's good to hear.
But
that's a plus.
That's a plus.
Yeah, more than.
I think you can give them a job selling steaks and something door to door, maybe.
But to your question, more than 3,300 individuals, criminals, have been removed from Collier County and the United States.
As many as no couth.
You don't have to pay for them anymore. They're not here committing crimes anymore. You save money, you make the community safe.
That's
it
good.
is a terrific program.
Well, you ought to patrol 041. That's pretty interesting.
Oh, it's like Little Mexico.
But by the time he gets to the area you're referring to, that's Lee County because it changes over.
Does it change it?
Yeah,
it does.
It changes over.
Where?
If you brought the dog pound truck, you could round up some people that were here illegal.
Isn't there $100 bonus if you turn
No,
somebody in or something like that?
No, there's no bonuses for
man. We could make
a couple millions down there,
and
I got a truck.
We're obviously, again, I mentioned before, we have an international destination. Everybody is welcome here. But if you're coming here to commit crime, I don't care where you're from, you are not welcome here. In Collier County nor Southwest Florida, period.
Good for you. I like that. If you're coming here to commit a crime in Collier County, you are not welcome.
Absolutely.
Well, we appreciate that. One thing before we go, we've only got a couple minutes left. I noticed something, and it struck me as odd. In your past, you were already it looked like the city of Naples police chief at some point.
Chief of Police and Emergency Services,
Yeah.
absolutely. The city manager.
And now it looked like, I don't know if the dates are off or if that's okay. Were you the city manager and the chief of police at the same time?
No, I was chief of police first.
All right.
And then I went from there to become city manager.
Oh man, I was fretting about that. Man, I saw him like, how was he the chief of police and the city manager at the same time?
Come on, slacker. What's wrong with you?
Hey, I tried to keep my law enforcement authority. They said no, you can't have both.
I figured that they would be like, well, then at least that way you could have given yourself your own raise.
Yeah,
I could have.
You could have, man. You could have run the gamut.
See how he thinks?
That's terrible.
Crazy. It's crazy.
I'm a capitalist, man.
That's a crime. Arrest him right now. Arrest him.
Well, people already think I give myself a raise, and maybe a lot of people out there don't know, but the state of Florida, the legislature, actually sets all constitutional officers' salaries.
Really?
Wow.
And you only get what they give you. That's
no
it.
kidding.
And
we can't vote on that then. Huh?
No, I wish you could, but you can't.
The legislature does.
Yes.
I wonder what they base it on. If they base it
population.
on it is.
Flip a coin.
It's a
so if you're sheriff of like the little town up in the Panhandle, Little Nice or something like that, you're making like $15,000 a year.
Rock paper scissors.
A little bit more than that. The problem is in my case, my salary's been going down in the last 4 years.
Oh, does it actually go
Saving
down?
me some money.
Because
Saving
population
us some money.
It does.
That's
It
good.
does save you some money.
See, you're thinking that for the folks.
That's
all.
Do you think were they counting the illegal immigrants in this in the poll?
No.
Oh, dang it. Well, I'll tell you what, it's been a pleasure having you on. We've only got about 50 seconds left. What's a website that folks can go to, if they want to donate to your campaign and help you out to get reelected?
If you want to find out some more information about where we are, what we've accomplished, where we want to go, and how to support us, reelectsherifframbosk.com. A lot of good information there. I have a terrific history, a lot of volunteer work in the community, which we didn't even get to.
The hour just flew by. We had great callers this time.
It did. I tell you, I've had such a great time. You guys ever want me back, I'll definitely be back.
Well, I'll tell you, after the primary, when you win
or
or
lose.
No, when you
we'll
win, we're going to
back.
get you back in here, and we can talk about some of the platform ideas you had that we couldn't get to today.
Absolutely.
All right, well, everybody, we appreciate
Thanks for the
participation.
callers, too,
The
man.
callers were great.
Great.
And we'll catch you next week.
Find out.